Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Clock my time or it'll convert it. I don't know. I mean, maybe
this is something I'm telling you. There's a disconnect somewhere about a generation, maybe two generations before you and I, where they cannot figure out technology.
Yeah,
they refuse to participate. This is the Neely mindset. If I'm off social media, then no one will ever find me, and then I'll be completely anonymous in my feelings and saying the N-word. It's like not true, bro. It doesn't work like that.
And again, I mean, we're not, I guess we are, but we're not trying to be mean about it. That just is a fact that did in fact happen. And it was just funny that it's like, he's asking me to change the time to his time, but if it's to change it to his time on our time, it's going to be 2 hours.
Yeah, just look at the fucking watch and then say, okay, I got to be ready 2 hours of this time.
I was like,
if Andrew can do it and Kendall can do it, these people can do it, but the old guy can't figure it out.
I was thinking I was going to take my laptop and hop in the hot tub and make it a hot tub time machine.
Yeah. Well, here's the best part. If you think about it, someone like Alan Niven would have a rightful claim to say, I don't know how this fucking shit works. He gets right on here, no problem.
It's all you need to do is click the link. Yeah. And it's like, what do you want me to do? Set an alarm for you? But I don't think I can do that from the West Coast.
And then, we knew that we were going to be signing ourselves up for probably basically what was, on my opinion, I thought it was going to be a bitch fest about all the things that didn't fucking happen or why someone did something wrong in his career.
Well, we would have been the original hair metal gurus, I think, because it would have been like a 3 or 4 hour thing. And it's like, oh, fuck.
We had a few marathons early in our days, but we kind of learned how to shorten them up and kind of just condense them down. And let's say if we're not going to get to it this time, we'll get you on in a couple of months and do it again. So, I guess what I'm going to say, Guru, I think inside our wrap up show circle wrap, give him a bad rap because of the length of the interviews and and he does need to learn how to edit. I mean, that's just the first thing he needs to learn how to do is how to hit delete and cut and paste and make some shit tighter. But I have to give him credit. He really doesn't say shit. He just goes, sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like doesn't it remind you of those two knuckleheads, Neely and Aiken, when they had Greenbaum on? They just asked him one thing, and he just took over and went from there.
And they just let it roll. And so that's all he really does. That's why I was saying, like, I can tolerate that a little bit because then I can just comb through like I did with Robbie Crane. I said, I don't need to hear where you grew up, bro. Or tell me how you got into Vince's band. That's where I want to hear where you. And then I was curious when you start working with Piercy, what was going on there, and he explained the Vertex and the Rat. I didn't even need to hear the Warrant because I know in my mind and heart, by the time he's really in Warrant's picture filled in for Jerry, Janie's out of the picture. And they're such a, like, I don't know how to say this, right? I'm not trying to offend those guys. They're just so safe. Like, there's no controversy other than Janie. Janie was always the controversy, right? The rest of those guys are so safe and so predictable and get on stage and do the show and go. There's no, like, what do I need to hear there? Yeah, we had a good time. I drank a beer with Eric. We played the show. I mean, okay, there's nothing to be here. So,
I don't know. I mean, I think I mentioned to you guys that I tried to listen to the 16-minute thing he did with Mick Sweeta, and I got about 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm like, fuck, I'm out.
No, I don't blame you. I had to get out of a Robbie Crane interview that was 3 hours and 40 something minutes of. I think you go look at the YouTube. I think I listened to about 40 minutes of it, and that was like 20 minutes of Vince and 20 minutes on the Rat Piercy stuff.
But that's the caliber of stuff of people he can get, though. I mean, it's not going to be anybody that has somewhere to be. You know, like he's not going to get. He's not going to get. Oh, I'm just trying to think of even just moderate success. He's not going to be able to get Udo. I mean, Udo's not going to sit there from Germany and go, I want to
sitting on there for 3 hours to tell you the whole story. No.
And it's not anybody that has anything really to promote. I mean, I know all these people he's getting are people that he's just doing a shot in the dark and going, I'm gonna message Robbie Crane and see if he'll do something. I mean, he's clearly not on the mailing lists for people that are promoting new stuff. Like he's not going to get George Lynch when he's promoting a record. No. He's not going to get George Lynch for 3 hours. I mean, he's just not. George.
No, they're not.
Probably good for 20 minutes, and then his ADHD starts kicking in. He's like, "Fuck, I'm out." He's not going to get Doug Pinnick from King's X or anything like that. He's not going to say, "Yeah, I'll sit here for 4 hours and give you my life story."
But I gotta be honest, I'm okay with that. And the reason why is because most of those guys aren't going to give you any juicy details anyways. George Lynch doesn't have any more juicy details to really spill out there. You know, the doc and shit and everything else he's going to tell you is going to be safe and mundane because that's George. I want to be PC. The reason why Robbie's interesting is because Robbie kind of doesn't give a fuck what Stephen Piercy or Warren DeMartini think anymore. And he said that. He doesn't really give a shit what anyone, Vince Neil or Vicky Fox from that band think about him anymore. And this is what he's going to say. So that's why I wanted to hear that. And those kind of guys to me are more likely to spill some truth and some details that I wanted to hear about. But what I will say is this: the editing, he's never going to get those kind of people. Those people are not going to give him that kind of time. That they don't have that kind of time. Even the reason why I respected Anthony Esposito is because a couple of times he kind of said, "Well, you don't really need to hear about all that. That's not really interesting. So let's just cut it down to this." And and Anthony Esposito cut his own interview down to an hour and 15 or 20 minutes, which was still too long, but more acceptable than 4 hours.
Right.
So I was like, hey, Esposito
and you
gets
gotta
it.
be
People
able
don't
to
want to hear all this stupid shit.
Well, I don't think the guy, and this is the other thing, I don't think the guy takes the cues, because I had watched a couple of the shorter ones, right? Yeah. The shorter ones where before he was doing like under an hour, 40 minutes or something like that. And I'll tell you this, because I was chatting with Keith St. John, again, not a big name, but he was promoting the NAMM Ronnie Montrose Remembered, and he hopped on a little late, and I think we got about an hour, but I think an hour is more than enough. I think even that probably went 10 minutes too long, but you can kind of tell when it's over, right? Because then it was like, okay, I need to wrap this one up, because then it just gets to the point where it's like, yeah, we're just doing this just to do it, and then it's just like, what's the point? It kind of loses it. So that ended on a high note, but it ended at the right time. Now, had it gone another 30 minutes, I don't want to be like, yeah, he's not answering things, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's over, but I'm going to keep going because I got you on. You're on the hook.
Yeah. No, he doesn't read cues very well. There's none of that going on. It's just drone on and talk as much as you want. I'm going to say, sure. Now, he will, when they kind of die down, if they haven't got to something he wants to hear, he does say, well, so getting back to it with, well, how did you end up with Steven again? And so he'll do that. I mean, but that's what any interviewer should do, is kind of keep when the train goes off the tracks, try to get it back on track. You guys were, Andrew was saying like Billy Corgan. I can't do Billy Corgan because Billy Corgan talks as much as the guy he's interviewing, and usually it's about himself. And I just can't.
Well, he's not as bad as Mitch LaFon, though. He's not as bad as Mitch LaFon.
No, but he does suffer the Eddie Trunk syndrome.
He's not as bad as Mitch. Come on.
Mitch is probably Mitch is probably the worst of all time.
Oh yeah,
Mitch is. There's been times where Mitch made me want to reach through the fucking phone and strangle him because of how he's acting just to the people he's talking to.
I don't know. I mean, Guru makes me appreciate Trunk more though, and he's not as he's almost on par with LaFon.
I know I can't. No. Trunk is bad, dude. Matter of fact, Trunk's gonna get the broadside of some evil hate coming up here pretty quick, because I've been listening pretty regularly, and that motherfucker goes on and on and on.
It's gotten
about
worse.
Himself. Yes,
it's gotten
about
worse.
Himself all the time. I did this. I did this. I'm over here. I'm doing this. I got the guy. I'm gonna contact Rudolph and Klaus and see if I can get my scene that was cut out of the Scorpions movie and see if they'll put it in the bonus cuts, because the director and producer I contacted is like, dude, do you think the record producer guy in Germany making this fucking movie, getting a call from Trunk saying, "Where's my deleted scene?" I'd be like, I don't know, on the cutting room floor, jack off, and hang up. I don't know what, it's deleted, bro. So now you're trying. The guy is so full of himself, and that's what I can't take. It's like it's bad enough if you're going to interject, but when you interject and start glazing yourself, like Trunk does, like Billy Corgan does. Billy Corgan sat in front of Paul Stanley and tried to compare himself and the fucking Pumpkins to Paul Stanley and Kiss. I hate to break it to Billy Corgan, there is no comparison. You're not even in the same fucking. If it was baseball, you're in single A and Kiss is in Major League Baseball, bro. You're not. I'm sorry, it's not the same thing. Yes, right now you can go out and sell out an arena, and that makes you think you're cool. But if you look at your body of work there, Billy Corgan, it is nothing compared to what Kiss put out over their fucking career. You have 2 albums you're rolling around on, still playing, bro, from the 90s. The 90s sucked, and that's the reason why you got to the top, because the 90s sucked. Bands sucked. There's a lot of shitty bands, so it became real easy for a fucking shitty band to get to the top. Ugh, I hate Billy Corgan. I just can't stand him, dude. He just because every interview starts with, well, yeah, and I remember the first time I met you, I was backstage at the fucking whatever with the Pumpkins. Every time, bro. I don't need to hear that, dog. I don't need to hear it, dude. There was time with Zakk Wylde where he was doing the same thing, and I thought Zakk Wylde, he might eventually say something to this guy, but he's just too polite and wouldn't just say, yeah, right, shut up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted him to say, you know. So one of these days, I think he will get someone like me who would sit across the thing and they go, shut the fuck up, dude. Did you want me to interview me or you? Do they want to hear the Billy Corgan interview hour? Then just talk to yourself. Why am I here, bro?
Oh.
So I'm just being straight, dude. Listen, you guys, if you all go to a Billy Corgan interview and you separate the audio of him talking versus the person he's interviewing talking, you're going to find there's a huge chunk of his show that's him blathering about himself. So, and Trump does the same thing. They just glaze themselves. It's like they don't think that they got enough credit for what they did or something. And I'm like, you got a fucking 3 houses in a mansion or whatever, Corgan, a wrestling company.
Right.
You know,
oh, yeah, that's right.
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Trunk's got houses in the fucking coast and the Vegas and the wife here and the girlfriend there and getting 1,500 to walk on stage and go, here's Great White.
Yeah. He's living
here's
like a
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Here's Styx. Give me my money. Yeah. That's all he does, dude. You know?
Yeah.
And he always acts like he always acts like he's putting in the time when he's doing traveling to do. Okay, I get the travel and that's what you're paying for. But really, when you're at the show, Trunk, was it that hard to drink a couple of brews, look at some titties in the front row, and get on stage and talk for a fucking total time of 10 minutes for the whole night and make $15 or $2,000 or whatever you're making, bro? You're fucking holding people up. You're robbing people. Quite frankly, you're a Trump.
That's
he'll blaze himself some more and act like he didn't get enough. He didn't get enough attention.
That's got to be coming to an end, though. I mean, it has to be. I mean, at some point, Sirius is going to start trimming things down, and he's going to be down to the Monday Hair Nation show, which is basically now recycled content. He's basically doing the CMS.
He's
recycling the interviews from months ago or weeks ago, and takes that's the thing. He's suffered the same fate as the CMS. Once he started taking less calls, it lost something, because you could always chuckle at the idiot clones that were calling, right? And that would create content. And now he basically
takes the
me. Yeah.
He gets the same guys. His caller guy will only accept the guys.
Especially that fucking asshole Ray that runs the fanboys page. Fucking idiot.
Has the stickers. You need.
He's got the stickers. Boy, he's
Ray in charge of my stickers.
He's the gatekeeper of the stickers.
He's the jackal of Trunk. Yeah,
exactly. Pretty much. Jesus. How pukey.
So as those bands die off, Eddie will start losing gigs because less and less people will want him to come interview for bands that he has no connection to. And since, like, he always, I don't know, the thing about Guru is I don't have to hear his voice. I have to hear the other guy talking to go, okay, do I want to hear this guy or not?
Right.
With Trunk, it's like I have to comb through
it's him
talking about himself to see if I can get anywhere with what he's actually going to talk about, which is anything about, and so I don't know. Sirius. No, that's a sinking ship. And Eddie's weird. Eddie's, in my opinion, for a rock radio DJ, has probably made a little money, right?
Right.
Is it that hard? Like he was doing this thing where he goes, Styx is going to be doing this, that, and the other, and I wish I could broadcast, but they're going to be doing. Oh, it was a the guys from Styx with other musicians were going to be at an award show in somewhere outside L.A.
Sure.
And it was the day that he's going to be in LA broadcasting, and so he was like, I wish I could get them at noon to 2 to do my show, but that will be too early. And I'm thinking in my mind, you're Eddie Trunk, dude.
Yeah.
Just tell your fucking guy, we're going to the fucking award show that night and we're doing it live from the award show, or we're going to record some spots at the award show with the people there and then put them together. But he acts like if it's not between noon and 2 and Sirius pays me, I can't do it.
And that's the thing too. If you get, he's kind of stuck in that. Remember the show Rockline? I mean, they would bring in guests in studio, always live. And in his case, he can do it. He's not taking calls, and he's not going to have the guests take calls from the fans, right? So it's like, just fucking record it and play it. I mean, what's the big deal?
Get one guy to go with you to run a camera. You have a microphone and talk to the people and do some interviews and whatever and compile it and put it together. He acts like if I'm not doing it on the hour of clocks, the clocked in hours of Sirius, I can't possibly be a part of this. I'm not getting paid. That's how he acts. And dude, that's antiquated. That's why you're going to be timed out of the music business, bro, because you're no longer thinking like the people that are like, okay, if I invest a little bit of money into my own podcast, into my own shit and do my own thing, I won't make money to start. But if I keep doing it with someone like A. Trunk's name, I'll get more people over to my own shit. I'll get subs. I'll get subscribers. I'll get advertising revenues. I'll get sponsors. I can make my own show. And then I'm no longer on the Sirius tit. He's still on the, I want a radio station and a place to sit down and feel important in a room with some guy over here fucking taking calls from Ray, and I gotta act like, oh, who's on the line? I don't know.
Yeah.
All that old shit. It was like,
or how about that fucking Yenta that goes, I gotta insert something and speak up for the women. You know, it's always women, Stevie Nicks and Joan Jett, and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah,
hey, wait a minute.
And,
this is a good point, a good spot where we should. You were talking about sponsors. We should insert Ghoul Tracker.
Oh, our commercial.
Yeah.
Yes, we have
because
they
texted the Ghoul Tracker is like, are you gonna do that? So this is a good time to run that Ghoul Tracker.
Yes.
Ghoul Tracker, the new ghoul tracking GPS device to track all the ghouls for all of your needs. Don't spend your time fussing and fretting and worrying about which ghoul is around the next corner. Let us track the ghouls for you. Ghoul Tracker coming soon.
So what about that fucking Ghoul Tracker? Do you think that's going to lead to a cargo container business in Illinois?
It could be a cargo container business in Chicago area. It could be some guy's rehearsal studio in Los Angeles, you know, some former 80s rocker guy trying to get a gig or something. It could also lead to some of these Somali leering centers, I think they call them. There might be some guys ghouling around in those places, that have no business being around kids. Probably also just before mentioning ghouls, Vicky's on the line, so we're going to have to get to her. She wants to have a conversation about all that. And before we go, I just want to say real quick because Vicky wanted to stress this, regardless of politics, ladies and gentlemen, let's not jump in front of cars and let's not run people over. Let's two things that we all can agree, no matter whether you're a guy with a badge or some crazy lunatic chick. You don't really want to be the guy jumping in front of a vehicle, and you don't want to be the chick hitting the gas going at somebody. Because let me tell you something. I took a poll real quick, Ruben, and I asked some guys who are not cops at all. They're actually kind of guys I know from my youth that are kind of shady characters. And I said, if someone was driving at you and they all said the same thing, I pull up my fucking gat and blast that bitch. So it don't make a difference who you run over, whether it's the cop or the gangster on the corner of South Sacramento. If you drive your car at someone and they got a gun, there's probably a pretty good chance they're going to try to smoke you. They don't
Right.
give a fuck whether it's a cop, a gangbanger, me, you. If you're trying, a car is a multi-thousand ton missile. Even at 30 miles an hour can completely fucking kill you in
Right.
seconds. So yeah, don't drive at people. Don't jump in front of the cars. Let's not do that, no matter who we are, because
I'm
the
I'm
rea the yeah.
I'm anxiously waiting for us to be done with Vicky so I could watch the news. Apparently there was two people jumping in front of bullets in Portland.
That's what
So
I'm hearing, and I saw
so
right
I
before
got
we came on. I
yeah.
happened to flick on some news, some live, and yeah, it sounds like Minneapolis is up in arms and chaos breaking out there. People being shot in
What the
Portland,
fuck
and
is it about Minnesota? I mean, fuck. That makes it sound like an unsafe state to live in. I mean, I know we have cities in the Northwest that are shit. But fuck.
I left California for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be perfectly honest. And it's starting to get to the point where even in Southern Oregon, I'm out in the mountains, man. I'm in some
Mm-hmm.
rural spots here. It still feels a little bit too close almost for my taste.
Too
I'm
close to
considering,
California.
yeah, too close
Yeah.
to just all these
Oh yeah.
knuckleheads doing stupid shit. I'm about to move to northern Nevada in the middle of nowhere so I can see you driving 3 hours through the desert to come to my place or something. Cause I can't take it anymore. It's not a left or right issue for me. It's you have no common sense. And if you
Mm-hmm.
have no common sense, I don't have time for you. I just don't. My life is too short to be dealing with knuckleheads who have no common sense. People that jump in front of cars, and people who want to hit the gas and run people over. I don't have time for you. You get what you get in my world. At that point
Mm-hmm.
in time, I cannot sit around feeling anything for you. I just don't. You're too stupid to exist. And that's the reality. And that's a hard thing for people to understand. But most people, I'm being straight, most people that die a tragic early death is because they're dumb. They did stupid shit. They
Mm-hmm.
did drugs. They drove drunk. Got shot. They tried to rob. There's always a reason. You're always doing something that's stupid that doesn't have common sense involved in it. And people are saying, well, his plight or her plight or their circle. No, I don't care. I've been broke. I've been on the top and on the bottom. I never thought about running someone over
Right.
or robbing the bank or shooting up with
Right.
Johnny because I feel bad about myself. It's just when you have no common sense and you live like that, you're going to just have bad things happen to you. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. So,
What? You mean you're not going to throw
yeah.
yourself in front of an ICE agent if they're detaining somebody?
No, because if you really think about it, okay,
Right.
let's just break this down.
Uh,
Everything she did in that video right there. Let's just stop. Let's not
yeah.
even get into the shooting. Just right
Yeah.
there. She got out of the van and said, okay, I'm under arrest. What are they going to do? A
Mm-hmm.
misdemeanor blocking a cop charge and all that shit with Somalis still in billion. You think a judge is going to sit around going, well, we got a misdemeanor charge of disrupting the peace. Gonna slam the cuffs on you, sweetie. You're doing 15 years. She wouldn't even
Right.
hardly, if she even went to court, he'd probably be like, what is this? Are you really going to process?
Yeah.
If anyone that's really been to court would know the process is so cumbersome. Something so minor like that might not ever even make it to fucking the court at all. You might just go into a cell for an hour or two and they go, get out of here. You're fucking being a pain in the ass. No charges.
Mm-hmm.
Charges are dropped. That's how cops are. And then all these people going, well, the cops got to tell us everything. Cops never tell you anything. That's the name of the game. It doesn't
Right.
make a difference whether it's your local or the Fed. They don't tell you shit. They just go along. My dad was a cop, my real biological dad, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what he told me? And he's a cop. And he just told me, you're more likely to get shot by a cop if you do stupid shit.
Right.
So just don't do stupid shit. Your opportunity to argue the charges in court. You'll go through a process. They'll give you a hot and a cot. They'll be out in 24 or 40 hours from some bail. You go to court with a lawyer. You hash it out in court. And that's your opportunity to decide, am I really guilty? And they're going to presume. Again, if you're not really in the wrong, you're probably going to get through the system with very little done to you. If you're in the wrong, then yeah, that's when you start doing dumb shit, acting out, and then you end up in jail, in prison, or dead. But the cops are always going to be the guys right there with the handgun, the judge, jury, executioner. They're not waiting around for someone else to decide. You have to go along. So I don't care what your political side is, people. If the cop says do this or do that, just step aside and go along. Keep protesting on the corner, wearing your sign, whatever you want to do, your rainbow wig, doing 360s,
Rainbow.
screaming on a fucking microphone, whatever. Yeah, I'm just saying do it. But once you block them or their cars, or you spit, or you throw bottles, or that's what you're assaulting them at that point, you're going to get the other end of it, and that's never going to work out for you. Not in the moment and not in the long run. So, fuck, dude. Our country right now, and I get that the lady is anti whatever she's anti, but what she was doing was stupid. It was just stupid. And that when you do stupid shit, fucking shit's going to go sideways. So, and she picked the one guy, I guess it turns out the news just told me earlier that he's been hit before.
Oh,
He got ran over in Minnesota and was in the hospital before.
Oh, shit.
So he's already jumpy to people trying to hit him with a car because you knuckleheads ran him over once before. So I could see why I'd be like, fuck that. I'm not going to the ER again.
I wonder
around for 3 months.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
These they're the same people that were pro law enforcement January 6th though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The guy that shot the chick in the Capitol, A-okay. He's doing his job. This guy shooting some other chick, not okay. What?
No kidding.
How about these chicks stop doing dumb ski shit, and then the cops wouldn't have to shoot any of them? How about you just say, okay, he told me to get out of the car. I'm putting my hands up. I'm going to go along because he has a gun and I don't, and I may die.
Right.
I don't know. That's just what I was taught, and that's
I wonder this lady that got shot. What her thoughts was on the lady that got shot on January 6th.
That's what I'm saying. She was completely probably okay with that as long as it was the opposite team.
And maybe Rick Fox is in the same dimension because I can't make any sense of any of this shit.
We know there is a certain percentage of rockers in Hollywood who are in this weird, demented cult who all think this way, and they think that their life is more important than everyone else's and everything else going on, and they show it with their actions, their words, their intent, and when they do that, again, common sense says at some point in time you're going to be by Mother Nature herself. I don't believe in God, y'all. Not even God. Just Mother Nature herself is going to put you in a position to prove that your life is not anything more important than every other little being's life. And you can just be turned off like that from lightning, car accidents, gunshots, whatever it is. And if you keep doing like the guys that these guys have the memorial videos I see on YouTube. He jumped off the cliff. He was a base jumper, one of the best base jump. Well, eventually he base jumped and he died. Well, why are we all acting like, oh, he base jumped? No, he jumped off a fucking cliff and hoped the parachute would work. At some point in time, the parachute didn't work. Well, no, I don't need a memorial video. Oh, that motherfucker. To me, in my mind, that's like suicide. You just knew you were at some point in time, shit's going to fail. So I don't know. It's what this chick, what does she think was going to be the outcome? You're blocking your car in front of federal agents. Like what did you think they were either going to rip you out of the car or ram you off the road, right? Is there any other option? I mean,
no.
I don't know. Like what is the actual logic in her brain thinking? I, as a chick with my person cell phone, is going to stop 10 dudes with fucking assault rifles and handguns and tactical body armor. You're a fucking idiot. So anyways, I think even Vicky Vincent's going to tell you that this is not what we should be doing in America. So
they them it will be
they them us. She likes she when she's on. She wants to be Vicky. She's trying to transfer into Vicky. It's just the music industry always knows her as Vinny from All the Time and Lick It Up and all that.
Right. Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna take a little break here. We're gonna get Ruben on the line with Vicky, and she's got, obviously, because you guys know there's a lot of controversy about her new songs, how she's doing this. She wants to clear the air. Eddie Trunk and them are not giving her a microphone.
Bashing her.
Yeah. We're gonna do it right here. Yeah, we're gonna do it right here. Because I know you guys think that she's crazy, but I'm telling you, there's some talent in them fingers. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So
yeah.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute with Vicky Vincent, ladies and gentlemen.
Vicky Vincent, you're back. I don't know how many times we've had you on here. This is probably like the third. But I know you got some stuff to promote. But real quick, because Evil and I were just chatting about this, I'm going to share this, and you can have a rebuttal to Mr. You know Rick Fox? Just curious because
I'm aware of who
aware
he is,
of him.
Yes.
You don't know who not friends. I take it.
Well, let's just say that even if I had met him before, I might want to forget who he is.
Oh, Jesus. What did he do to you?
I just don't think he's I don't think he's a quality, upstanding individual, Ruben, and he
Mm.
has no honor for my art. Yeah.
Well, I know
No respect for my
no
artistic
respect for your art.
abilities.
Well, you're probably not going to be happy with this, but you're probably not that active on Facebook. But Rick Fox, when Ultimate Classic Rock posted their article about your upcoming releases, those singles that you were threatening to release, he basically
Hmm.
accused you of trying to rip him off and being mentally unstable, and that Dana Strum basically, what's it say? Dana Strum uh, can vouch for for his story, and so could Bobby Rock. So there you go. So, what do you have to say about that? It looks like the song that is in question here is well, what was it? It's On the Run, which was from his band Sin, and then you tried to use it for Let Freedom Rock, which is a Vinnie Vincent Invasion record.
Um, well, once again, coattail riders and hangers on, Ruben. Wannabes, could have been, should have beens. They're always trying to tear me down, and I don't really
Yeah.
understand why.
Is he a
And it
mean
doesn't.
Mr. Mustard? I mean, I'm just kidding.
Oh, he
Does
would
he
be Mean
fall
Mr.
under that?
Mustard's. He'd be his tech or his right hand man, his
Oh, so
personal
he's not.
assistant if he could.
Yeah.
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 So he's just these are bottom dwellers, Ruben. That's what they are, and
Right.
they don't seem to have any respect for the art, the music that I've created, the things that I've given musically to my fans that they'll never understand. So it's to be expected. I've had many arrows slung my way
Hmm.
over the years, and here I am, still in the barn, jamming away on my acoustic guitar, putting the tunes together. So
And this is
um,
your because you this is two separate things, right? The singles that you were going to release, I think $200 a pop about, and then the Barnyard Jams is a totally different thing.
yeah, you could go ahead and show them that now. We have Speed Barn Jams is a
Oh,
new
excuse
compilation.
me, Speed Barn
Yeah,
Jams. Yeah,
Speed Barn
I
Jams because
gotta.
we've a lot of this has been getting put together in the barnyard, and so Speed Barn Jams, the deluxe edition. So this is going to have a lot of bonus content you won't find anywhere else. Okay.
Okay.
And for those of you, and this is separate from the Guitar Mageddon
Right.
tracks that are out there with Ride the Serpent and Cock Teaser and
Mm.
some of the other songs that are out there that are going to be coming. So let's just get right down to it here. All right,
Hmm.
look at this fine product I'm giving you. This is the deluxe edition of Speed Barn
Deluxe.
Jams, and
Yeah.
and people are acting like, okay, first off, if you're, we know that there were people paying $50,000 to Gene to have a box of vault shit delivered to their house where he sat on the couch and ate their chicken wings for 30 minutes and left. So
Right.
I saw it with my own two eyes. He drugged me in with this
You were
acoustic
there.
guitar that I have right now
Yeah.
in my hands. Yes, and I was having to watch him sell this stuff to these people. So think about it. Is $200 really that much money for a complete 8-minute rock extravaganza with guitar riffs that your heart is longing to hear me play in professional production with Robert Fleischman singing? I mean,
Yeah.
$200 for a song is in today's market doesn't
It-
doesn't seem, and when I was thinking about prices, Ruben, I was sitting there with all these tracks and I've been cutting these tracks and I thought, well, how much should I charge for a song these days? It's been so long since I've really put
mhm.
out any a volume of new material. And right then the power bill came and it said $200 was due for
Right.
that month. And I thought,
Uh,
if I could just get one person to cover the song for one song, there's the
yeah.
power bill, right? So that's how I settled on that price. And all these people are thinking there's some mystery behind it. It just happened to be the power bill, but that's what was due that month.
But
So
I think I don't know, are the sales kind of soft? I mean, you can only have so many idiots. I mean, fans like, the three sides of the coin guys that'll buy anything. And, some of the other miscellaneous whack jobs. I mean, I think you have a kind of a bad track record, right? Because remember that box set that you threatened to deliver on, I guess it was empty. You didn't have any cassettes or
Well,
whatever it was.
there was a lot of legal entanglement. See, people think that I can just go dropping out new material left and right, and not have Mean Mr. Mustard sending me another lawyer's telegram or an email or a fax or whatever it was in the day saying, "Don't do that, Vinny." So
Mm-hmm.
this is part of the reason why I've transitioned into the modern era. So, this analogy for what I'm offering you is like, well, you can, yeah, I mean, Ruben, you can go to McDonald's, but what I'm offering you is caviar.
Caviar.
For you.
Yeah.
And so how much would you spend for it? Caviar is not for everyone. It's
Right.
not for the late person at the bus stop. It's for the guy who's riding in the Rolls
So
Royce or the Bentley. And so
yeah.
maybe
So you're
my music is
basically like
just a
the
little
upscale,
bit.
huh? The upscale fan.
Well, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Obviously, I don't need millions of people to pay my
Mm-hmm.
$200. I just need
Mm-hmm.
a couple, 50 good friends. That's all I need, and I'm doing fine. Now my
Out of
power bills are paid. Give me
curiosity,
back your new
though,
songs.
uh, uh, I'm sure it's probably gotten back to you, but like Ed Trunk has been railing on you, and you gave him that great interview. Yeah, you were a little late, but now he seems like he's flipped on you. I mean, I don't imagine you'd go back on there, would you? At this point?
With that blowhard, no. The guy, I don't want to get too vulgar on your show. Are we free to speak freely here, Ruben?
Yeah, yeah. You can free to say whatever you'd
I'm
like.
pretty
I
sure
mean,
that I'm pretty sure that while he's talking to you on the phone, he masturbates. He's like that Louis C.K. guy. You just hear this weird sounds in the background, and it's just. And as soon as he starts talking about, well, you remember that time, Vinny, when I
yeah,
put you on the air at the convention?
sure. Oh, yeah,
I'm like, well, something's going
right,
on here with this
right.
guy. He's just really into
It's
himself, and it
possible.
doesn't really appears to me that he really cares what I'm releasing. I could be releasing Lick It Up Part 2 with Paul's fucking blessing, and this guy over here
Mm-hmm.
would still be masturbating in the corner talking about how he almost signed Paul to a solo deal at Megaforce in '86 or
Right.
something. So I just don't know about that guy. I have a feeling that something's amiss with him too. People. The difference between me and them is that something's amiss with me, but I'm telling you something's amiss with me. I'm Vicky. That's what you expect. That's why I'm in the barn. I'm jamming
Right,
in here by
right. You're
myself.
jamming
I
in
mean,
the barn.
yeah. Do you think that this is normal behavior? No, of course. So this is why I charge extra. I want the
Well,
crazy people to buy my music. That's who I'm
well,
looking. That's my niche market is psychos.
and what's up with those titles? I mean, they're totally like throwback to the 80s and stuff. Cock teaser and what was the other one? Ride the serpent or
Well,
the dragon or whatever.
Ride the Serpent. Yeah, Ride the
Serpent.
Serpent and Cock Teaser. And, well, speed barn jams. I mean, think about it. I'm in here in the barn and I'm playing fast licks. So, and the cock teaser, some people would say, well, you're talking about a male's genotype.
Yeah,
Maybe I was talking about my horse in the barn. You don't know. I could have been in here in the
that's
barn
true.
talking about the horse cock. So who
Mm,
who knows? I'm just saying that sometimes the title and the song just comes to you when you're playing the riff, and then you
hmm
don't have any rhyme or reason why you thought of cock teaser, but also, Cock Teaser could have been about a girl I met on tour back in 1986 that I stole from Mark Slaughter, and she was a teaser, and she teased my cock a lot. And so I kicked her off the bus and left her in Sheboygan, I believe,
Oh,
in
oh
Wisconsin.
my
So,
God. Uh,
well, these things happen.
yeah.
And so the bottom line is, though, I want people to understand that my music is an acquired taste.
Right.
My music is something that your heart will lead you to in your time of need. And when you find me there playing my guitar, waiting for you, we bond, we form a connection, and so for that reason, I don't think a $3,600 price tag for the deluxe edition of Speed Barn Jams on
hmm
vinyl, signed with
Signed.
pink guitar
Okay.
picks
Are they numbered?
and pink guitar pick.
Mm.
Yes, it's limited
Oh, they are
edition
numbered.
guitar picks, and I'm also going to throw in for the first 100 buyers of the Speed Bar Jams Deluxe Edition for $3,600. They also get a pair of pink G-string panties. So
Oh my God.
I think you guys might enjoy. I think you guys might enjoy that. Now, whether they're worn or not is up to you to take a
Oh,
guess. You don't
oh
really know.
no. Oh
but
boy.
But I can tell you, it'll at least smell like the nether regions of
Oh
Vicky
boy.
Vincent, and that's like being in paradise, Ruben. I'm sure you're curious,
Oh,
So Gene was always curious. He always wanted a room with me, and I used to tell that big strapping buck, you can get in
it,
my room there, Gene. I'll slip you a little spare key.
is Gene a bit stinky? I know that's one of the things that I think in some of the biographies that some of the other bandmates that
I
Gene
think,
was kind of rank.
yeah, my guess is back in Jerusalem, they probably don't have a lot of showers and they sweat a lot because
Mm,
they're in the desert or something,
hmm.
probably. So I don't know. Maybe by the time he got to America, having access to a shower daily wasn't something he was used to. I don't know. I don't. I did notice a musky odor at times, but I stayed stage left for
Mm,
Paul, being Mr. Mustard, and Gene was always stage right. So I only could catch a whiff when I was doing a guitar solo, and he would start, licking my ear or something,
yeah.
and
A-
fondling his bass in front of me.
Out of curiosity, back when you were still in Kiss, you were in for part of the time, Creatures of the Night make the tail end of the makeup era before they got the classic guys back, and then the Lick It Up era. Which of those two guys banged more chicks? Was it Gene or was it Paul? And were there any uncomfortable type situations that you were in, caught in the middle of?
Well, since Paul goes all ways, I mean, Paul was like a Freddie Mercury type, a smorgasbord. He would just,
Hmm.
it didn't make a difference who, guys, girls, this, that,
Oh,
large, small,
yeah.
black, white. Paul is the kind of guy who just he finds love in any place he can find love.
Hmm.
Gene was just, I can assure you, Gene just likes, barely 18 female girls. That's his preference. And that's all he ever really had in his room. So if you're just looking for females, then you would say, well, Gene had the numbers. But if you want to say the overall numbers, I
Right.
think Paul Stanley might have been
Wow.
playing both sides of the baseball plate.
Wow. So he's like
So
a
yeah,
switch
so
hitter, huh?
yeah, I
I can't.
think I've said before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that mean Mr. Mustard's bi. Yeah.
I I guess I'm not surprised.
No, I mean when he was dancing around with the stuffed animals strapped
Mm-hmm.
to his neon pants, and who wants to be lonely? He doesn't want to be lonely, Ruben. He'll
Right.
he'll lay down with anybody in bed to avoid that
Right.
loneliness, even if that means cuddling with Finny a few different times.
Hey,
You know,
out of curiosity, what's your take on the Simmons Stanley? You got Nick Simmons, the guy that plagiarized all those comics and got caught red-handed, and then you got Evan Stanley, who I don't know what happened with him, but he had that band, and they seemed to be getting some momentum, and all of a sudden he disbanded that to do this acoustic bullshit. No disrespect. I mean, obviously you're doing this acoustic album yourself, but um, what's your take on that? Because that's like a throwback to the flower power bullshit.
yeah, it reminds me of going to Laurel Canyon with the flower in my hair and the peace sign, and maybe smoking some ganja. I don't have a problem with them. Obviously I'm in touch with my feminine side, Ruben, just fine. I've invited him out to the barn actually to have an acoustic jam session with Uncle Vinny, but
Hmm.
I think me and Mr. Mustard probably put the kibosh on that and told Evan that flight to Nashville wasn't going to happen. So,
Right.
is it Kiss music? No.
Hmm.
Do I think that they're going to have a hard time finding a niche market for shoeless people and you know fields with having orgies or something? I don't know what they're
Right.
expecting to play to. That's
Right.
weird. It's music for love makers, and I don't know if there's a lot of love making going on in the world these days. It seems like I think people want a little more edge, but
Right.
you know let them do what they want. I could see where they might be trying to. Let's just be honest, Ruben. I think that they're trying to go the opposite direction of what their fathers did because
Right.
they realize how cringy their fathers really are at times. Yeah, that's just the reality.
Especially at the end, right? I mean, at the end, Kiss got real
Yeah,
ridiculous.
pretty much. And, wore out their welcome in many ways. Let's say that too. Part of the reason why so many people care about what Vicky's doing is because Vicky went away for a long time, Ruben. I left the public eye and I took care of my animals and tried to do the best I could with an intoxicated wife who's a pain in the ass. But these things happen to people, and as for their boys, I'm sure they're fine. And I think I've met Nick one time, and he was just a young man, so I'm sure they're fine. I just don't see in today's market. This is, again, people think I'm crazy for charging what I'm charging, but this is the modern music scene. There's no record labels to pay you. You have to make the money on your own, and so that's why you have to, have a birthday party in a rehearsal room in Nashville and invite 50 of your friends and have some birthday cake and play guitar.
There you go.
For $500 a pop in order to make a living.
Wow.
Things are different these days. There's no guy bankrolling the thing, and I don't even, I think even Evan's gonna hard time getting Papa Paul to put some money into the system to make him go on tour. And I think Nick goes to Uncle Gene or Dad Gene and says, "Can I get some cash?" And he's probably gonna say, "You got to work for it, kid. Sorry."
Right. Right.
So that's why I think the acoustic guitar and the barefoot in the Laurel Canyon on a hill probably is the best bet. Just smoke the California ganja and just have a good time, boys. I mean, because they don't really have to work if you think about it, Ruben. I mean, they have their own kids are probably not going to have to go down to the Taco Bell and serve some burritos to make ends meet. So, this is generational wealth. When Gene has $400+ million, I'm sure he can figure it out.
Yeah. Wow.
But it goes back to, this is why I'm saying, though, why would they attack me, Ruben? Why, I'm just a little guy over here playing my guitar in my barn.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Is Gene really that threatened by speed bar jams, do you think?
Well, I mean, I think right now he's targeting Peter Criss for
poor
whatever
Peter.
reason. So,
let's just go on the record with a few things. And I don't know if you can bring up that photo. I did have my brother Evil there. He's a wonderful tech and a wonderful man. He always fixes my guitars and my amps in a timely manner. So Evil, God bless you, Evil.
Oh.
I sent him a picture of me and Hillary. They got all the press for their Kennedy Center honors thing, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But I was also in Washington, D.C., and just for whatever reason, the press didn't catch on that I was, yes,
so
there it
you
is.
got this, what, Honors Society Award recipient for the pantsuit of the year of 2020.
I was thrilled. It was an enlightening moment with me and Mrs. Clinton. And yes, the Clinton Foundation Honor Society Award recipient. I was the pantsuit of the year for 2025. That's now they had a lot of people to choose from to whether KISS goes in Kennedy Center. There's only a select crowd of pantsuit options in that.
Who were the other nominees? I'm guessing Kamala was one, huh? I mean,
Kamala was definitely on the list, and Senator Warren was in the list as well. And they threw in Ellen DeGeneres. Ella DeGeneres was also on the list.
Was
as
Tampon
and she
Tim?
was kind of. I don't know if he was on the list, but I know for a fact that Ellen was pretty angry that I won, because she was like, "Who is this third-rate KISS person?"
Ouch.
But
was
sorry,
she the
Ellen,
one?
you don't look as good in a pantsuit as I do.
I did see this photo, and I don't know if you can see the little cursor here. I'm moving. And somebody said that you have a little bit of a gunt.
Well,
I don't. That's not very nice, is it?
Well, you try being a 60-something-year-old former guitar player, KISS, and see what your body looks like after G's been, snuggled up next to you in one too many bus cots and backstage areas. I had to share sandwich platters with that guy. You know what that's like? I mean, come on, it's horrible. So
right.
Anyways, so while they were getting some other award, I was getting the Clinton Foundation Award there in D.C. during the same time, but no one covered it. And so there's my award. Yep, that's the award that I have on my mantle in the barn, and it sits right over here. And when I'm strumming my guitar,
Has this arrived yet? I mean, it has.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's on the.
Is it engraved and everything? Is it?
Yes, it says Vicki Vincent, recipient for 2025, and. Yeah, and I cherish that award right there because there's not very many women with the pantsuit stylings of Hillary Clinton. So if you're getting it from the Clinton Foundation for this general, this subgenre.
Right.
You're in an elite class. You're exclusive. This is exclusive club here, I hear. So, so
Are you
that
going to
was that. And
defend
I also want to say
the title next year? Or this year, I should say.
well,
2026.
if they allow me to, I heard next year it's going to be Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen probably squaring off to see who's got the best pantsuit for 26, and they're both pretty pissed off because of who's in the White House.
That's very un-American, because I think didn't they leave the country? I mean, that's kind of un-American, right? You live in Nashville.
Well, I didn't that, but the Clintons are international. I mean, they're in Haiti a lot, and so
Epstein Island, and
international family. Yeah, they're always off, cavorting around nude somewhere with somebody.
Right.
But regardless, so they while they were getting the Kennedy Center treatment, I was getting the Clinton Foundation treatment. It's just that Rolling Stone and Blabbermouth didn't pick that up. But I'm glad that Evil took the time to acknowledge. He sent me a nice little message saying, "I'm glad you won the award, Vicky." And so that really hit my heart. It showed me that the Wrap Up Show.
We do.
I mean,
you're not even going to see Aiken or Wendell talk about that. I mean, they're just not. They'll poke fun at you.
Well, after all I've heard about those chauvinistic, misogynistic pigs, that they could just go fuck themselves because they're not very nice. And so,
right.
Just and they spoke very badly about AC Poo, and people think I have a spot in my heart for Ace, because when I joined the band, he looked right at me and he said, "Good luck, kid. You're going to need it." And boy, was that was the truth. That was the truth, Ruben.
Yeah, no shit.
He knew I was going to need it. So Ace, rest in peace, Ace. I know you're up in heaven right now, and they should have given you more respect. Gene and Paul should have given you more respect for what you contributed. And you were never mean to me, Ace, no matter what. When we at these conventions, you were always so sweet to me. You give me a big hug and asked me how it was trying to hang in with these lunatics, Stanley and Simmons, so.
Right.
And now they're crapping on Peter, and Peter never did anything wrong to me either. So I don't know what Gene and Paul are thinking.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and let's just go on the record, Ruben, and you're going to break this. This will be on Blabbermouth tomorrow.
Okay.
Let this be on Blabbermouth.
Let's hear about
I offered payment to buy a booth at the landlocked Kiss Cruise in Las Vegas.
Oh.
A Vicky Vincent booth would have been there. I was going to pay for it, Ruben, out of my own pocket, and show up and have a booth and meet all the Kiss fans. And Doc and Paul, they went to that, what is it? Something pop company that bought this.
Pop House.
Yeah.
Pop House.
Pop House. They went to the people at Pop House, and they came back and said, "Vicky who?"
Oh.
And I said, "What?" And that's when I slammed the Lick It Up cassette, because broke the records and everything I had, because I thought, fuck these guys. They won't even recognize my contributions.
Oh.
And I was going to pay for it. You know how much they were going to charge me, Ruben, for a booth?
How much? I'm curious.
$75,000.
Oh, geez.
So that's how much money Gene figured I was going to make at that convention. So
you were going to sell Barnyard Jams there, huh?
Yeah, Speed Barn Jams, Deluxe Edition.
Oops, sorry.
Yep. For the first, I was actually going to debut the CD autograph singles of Ride the Serpent for $199 in person, and you could get a photo with that and me, and you could pick out what panties you wanted, whether you want the pink or the purple. I have pink and purple panties. So that was all thwarted because of Gene and Mean Mr. Mustard and these Pop House people and Doc McGee and his slithering snakes.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And I looked at him and I said, "Why do you hate Speed Barn Jam so much?"
Right. Oh, that's awful.
They just do everything they can to thwart my releases and my art.
Right.
And so it's just, this is what I'm battling. So when you say, when Eddie Trunk says, "Why would you charge $200 for a song?" It's to pay the legal bills because of Simmons. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's Stanley Ison. He's got a team of lawyers. They come after me left and right. Oh. And then he said, I got this message on my voicemail, and he didn't say it was Paul, but he said, "Don't send any plane tickets to Evan, you piece of shit." Click. And I was like, wow, they can't even have the kids come jam with me in the barn.
Oh,
So, and
well,
that was sad because I did have a couple of emails with Evan Stanley, and he seemed real sweet. He said I always
mm,
liked Lick It Up. It was one of my favorite albums. So
mm,
yeah.
nice.
But that might be why his dad's so mad, you know. I mean,
Right.
when his son realizes who really invigorated the Kiss rocket ship, and it was the Vinnie Vincent fuel that burned the fire. So
Right.
yeah.
So all this stuff's definitely coming. You got the Speed Barn Jams Deluxe Edition. You got the singles, the
So yeah,
$200
let's
singles.
clarify
Yeah.
that. You're gonna put $200 into my account, and I'm gonna hold it there. And then when we get to a certain number of sales, so I can order the whole lot that I need, then I will ship out everyone's CDs and autograph them and make everything right. And if we don't reach the proper number of sales, then the money just gets refunded right back to you, and you
Mm.
didn't lose anything. So it's kind of like a placeholder. You're
Ah,
holding your place in line to
in
have,
line.
yeah, you used to go wait in line outside of a record store when an album was dropped, right? So this is just kind of like a digital line. You're putting your money down to hold your spot. And I'm offering a lot of bonuses that they're not even mentioning. Again, the guitar picks and the
Right.
panties and all of these other things. So, I mean,
Mm,
if Gene Simmons can give you a vault full of glow in the dark condoms and shitty songs you never heard, then for
right.
thousands and thousands of dollars, I just don't understand why $200 is too much for people.
Sure.
So, but I'll tell you why. Ruben. Let's be honest. Because Eddie Trunk wants a freebie. He wants a freebie. He wanted me to send him the whole album for free.
Right.
And I said, well, what do I get out of that? You're not having me on the show. You get a free
Right.
album. You're driving around Las Vegas with your dick in your hand with your lubricant on the other hand, listening to Ride the Serpent and jerking off to my song. So what does Vicky get out of that? I'm over here in the barn alone with no one to pay the power bill. So that's why
Yeah.
Eddie Trunk is the way he is, because he wants a free Vicky Vincent album. He doesn't want to pay for it. So
And then he'll be
it's horrible.
listening to it in that in a car with that guy from Counting Cars and that the
Yeah.
guy from the Bistro and Carrot Top and
And then how long is it before one of them uploads Ride
sure.
the Serpent? And now it's on YouTube, and I'm not making my money because
Right.
Eddie Trunk. There you go.
Yeah,
So
and get it.
but he's gonna I'll have the last laugh because what
Mm.
he doesn't know is I've $75,000 and have a booth at the Landlock next year, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe for $575,000 I just booked myself at the Sphere, and it's Vicky Vincent at the
Ooh,
Sphere.
the Vicky
Yeah.
Vincent experience, huh?
Yep. Speed Barn Jams Live Deluxe Edition in front of your eyes.
Wow.
Raise your horns high, let your spirit flow.